Welcome to Raj Technologies. In this video, we are going to start off with control statements like if-else statement in Java. Let us understand what is the need of going to these control statements. So whatever the programs we have seen in the last video, every line of the program will get executed. Now we want to execute some statements only when the condition is true. We want to execute some statements only when the condition is false. We want to execute some statements repeatedly for some number of times based on the condition. That means we want to control the flow of execution of program. In that case, we make use of these control statements. So the use of control statements is these statements are used to execute set of statements based on the condition. These statements are used to control the flow of execution of program. And we are having different types of control statements in Java. They are if statement, if-else statement, switch statement, while loop, do while loop, for loop, break and continue, labeled break and continue. So these are the different control statements present in Java. In this video, we are going to see about if statement and if-else statement. So directly we can say if-else statement. So let us go with if-else statement in this video. If-else statement. The use of if-else statement is, it is used to check a condition, and if the condition is true, it will execute some set of statements. If the condition is false, it will execute the statements present in else part. Let us understand more. It is used to execute the set of statements when the condition is true. If the condition is false, it will execute the set of statements present in else part. So let us understand more with the syntax of if statement. So here we use a keyword if, and we check a condition, any Boolean expression. And if the condition is true, we'll execute some set of statements like statement 1, statement 2, like that, statement n. If the condition is false, it will go to the else part. Else is again a keyword where we use again the set of statements. If the condition is false, it will come to the else part and it will execute the statements present in else part. Now let us understand the important points about if statement. If-else statement. So the important points on if-else statement is, for if, else is optional. So whenever you go for if statement, so writing else is optional for us. For else, if is mandatory, compulsory. So whenever you go for else, there should be some period if, compulsory for else. So for else, if is mandatory. If curly braces are not used, so here we are using the curly brace to represent the block of statements. If the curly braces are not used, it considers only one statement. Statement means for one statement, Curly braces are optional. So if you are not using curly braces, then it's going to consider only one statement. So when you are having only one statement, using curly braces is optional for us. Let us go with a small example. Let us consider two numbers like int n1 equal to 10, int n2 equal to 5. Out of these two numbers, we want to know which is big. Then we have to compare the numbers. If the value of n1 is greater than n2, then we'll say system.out.println big equal to the value of n1. Else, we'll say system.out.println big equal to the value of n2. So in this example, the value of n1 is 10 and the value of n2 is 5. 10 is greater than 5. The condition is true, so it will print the output as big equal to 10. If you make this n2 value as 15, here the condition will become false. 10 greater than 15, it is false. It will come to else part and says big equal to n2. That is big equal to 15. Then, let us understand these points in much more better way by taking some more examples. Like, let me take some cases like 1. We are considering two numbers, int n1 equal to 10, int n2 equal to 5. We compare. If the value of n1 is greater than n2, then we will say system.out.println big equal to the value of n1, and again we will say here system.out.println big equal to the value of n2. These examples mainly to understand the syntax rules properly. So in this example, the output will be, here in this example the condition is true, so it will execute this set of statements. Since there is no curly brace, it will consider only one line of statement under if. So it will say big equal to 10. And coming to the next one, the statement does not belong to if condition at all. It is nowhere related to if statement. Since it is not related to if statement, this statement should get executed even the condition is true or false. So that's the reason we get even the output as big equal to 5. Let me take one more example. If you take int n1 equal to 10, int n2 equal to 5, and we compare if n1 greater than n2, and we keep semicolon after condition, and we'll say system.out.println big equal to the value of n1, and we'll say here again system.out.println big equal to the value of n2. So in this case, many people will think after if statement, if you use semicolon, it will go with a compile time error, but it is not an error here. So keeping semicolon after if condition, that indicates that there are no statements under this if statement. So these two statements does not belong to if. So even the condition is true or false, these two statements will get executed. That's the reason we get the output here also as big equal to 10 and big equal to 5. The difference between the first example and second example is, in the case of first one, if the condition is true only, we get this output. If the condition is false, we'll get only this line as output. But in the case of second example, even the condition is true or false, these two statements will execute it. So this output will come even the condition is true or false. Let me take one more example. int n1 equal to 10, int n2 equal to 5. If the value of n1 is greater than n2, we keep semicolon here also after condition. We'll say system.out.println big equal to the value of n1, else we'll say system.out.println in this example, the output will be, since we have kept semicolon after if, your if statement is terminated here only. This statement does not belong to if. We are using else. But the point what we discussed is, for else if is mandatory. So for this else, there is no if because it is terminated here. That's the reason we get the output as error else without if. Else without if. Let me take one more example. int n1 equal to 10, int n2 equal to 5, and here we'll say if n1 greater than n2, dot println big equal to the value of n1, then we'll print again system dot out dot println big equal to the value of n2. Then else, so let me take it as instead of big equal to the value of n2, let me print some xx. Then here in else part, we'll say system dot out dot println big equal to the value of n2. So in this example, the output will be again same, error else without if. Why? Because for this if, we did not use any curly brace. Since we did not use any curly brace, it will consider only one statement. This statement does not belong to if. So we are writing else after that. So for this else, there is no period if, because your if is closed here only. That's the reason here also we get error else without if. Let me take one more. int n1 equal to 10, int n2 equal to 5. If n1 greater than n2, we'll say system dot out dot println big equal to the value of n1. We keep two semicolons, and else we'll say system dot out dot println big equal to the value of n2. So in this example also, the output will be same, error else without if. Why? Because we have used two semicolons. One semicolon indicates one statement. So here if is closed here only, this semicolon indicates as one statement. So this statement does not belong to if. We are using else without if. That's the reason again we get error else without if. So these are some of the examples to understand more of the syntax of if statement. Then let us go with some example programs using if statement. So let us go with write a program to check whether the given number is even or odd. So when can we say a number is even? Is if the number is divisible by 2, then the number is even. Else odd means when you divide the number by 2, the remainder should be 0. And the operator what we use to get the remainder is modulus operator, that is percentile. Let us understand this with the example code about how to go for this checking whether the number is even or odd. So let us do this program in Eclipse. So whenever you want to write a new Java program, we need to right click on project and say new class. I'm giving the name of the class as even odd. And we go with main method. To run a Java program, we require the main method inside the class. Once the class is created with main method, since we are going to accept the number from user, we can accept the user input by using scanner class. And whenever we want to use scanner class, we have to say import java.util.scanner. And in order to know more about this, how to make use of scanner class to read user input, you can watch the previous video. Now create the object of scanner class. Scanner is equal to new scanner. Say system.in. To system.in represents the keyboard. Then accept the number. System.out.println. Enter a number. Then we'll store into a variable n s.nextInt. NextInt is used to read an integer value using scanner class from keyboard. Then, once we accept the number, now we need to check whether this number is divisible by 2 or not. How to check? If the value of n modulus 2, if the remainder is 0, then we'll give the message system.out.println even. Else, if it is not divisible by 2, then we'll say system.out.println odd. So let us consider an example like if you take the number as 4, 4 mod 2, 4 mod 2 is remainder is 0, so it is equal to 0, so we get the message even. If you take the number as 5, 5 mod 2 the remainder is 1, 1 equal to 0, no, so it will give the message odd. Let me save and run the program. Click on this button run. So where it will ask for a number, if I say the number as 4 and if you press enter key, we'll get the message even. If you run the program again, if you say the number as 5 and if you press enter key, we'll get the message as odd. Let us go with the next concept here under this if else, that is nested if. The use of nested if is if within if is called as nested if. So when you want to check more number of conditions, then we go for this nested if. The syntax goes like this. If we check a condition, let me say condition 1, and we'll go with some set of statements. If the condition 1 is true, it will execute this set of statements. If the condition 1 is false, it will go to else part, and we want to check one more condition. So again we'll say if condition 2. If condition 2 is true, we'll execute some set of statements. If condition 2 is false, again it will go to else part, and again we'll check one more condition, like condition 3. If condition 3 is true, we'll execute again set of statements. Like that goes on. Set of statements. Else, we'll execute some set of statements. So the last else statements will execute when all three conditions are false here. So let me elaborate. If the condition 1 is true, it will execute the statements present in condition 1. If the condition 1 is false, it will go to else part and checks condition 2. If condition 2 is true, it will execute this set of statements. If condition 2 is false, it will come to else part and checks one more condition. If condition 3 is true, it will execute this set of statements. If condition 3 is false, it will come to last else and execute set of statements. The last else statements will execute when all these three conditions are false. Let me go with an example program to understand more of nested if. Write a program to check whether the given number is positive, negative, or 0. So when can we say a number is positive is if the number is greater than 0, they are positive numbers. If the number is less than 0, negative numbers. If the number is not positive and not negative, then we can say 0. Let us understand this code with a program. Let us go with one more new class. So to create a class is right click on project and say new class, and you can say the name as check number. I'm taking the class name as check number with the main method. Say finish. Then, to use scanner class to read the number, we go with scanner class. So you can import the scanner class. Then accept the number. So to read the number, we have to create object of scanner. Scanner is equal to new scanner. Say system.in and accept the number. System.out.println, enter a number. Then int n equal to s dot next in to read integer value. Then now you check it. If the given number is greater than 0, then we give the message system.out.println positive. Else, we cannot say negative. Why? Because it may be 0. That's the reason. Again, we have to check the condition. If the given number is less than 0, then we give the message system.out.println negative. So if the number is not positive and not negative, then we can say directly else, and we can say the message system.out.println 0. So if the number is greater than 0, we give the message positive. Else, if the number is less than 0, we say negative. If it is not positive and not negative, then directly we say 0. Let me save. Run the program. It will ask for a number. If I say 5, press enter key, it will say positive. If you run the program again, and if I say the number as -5, and if you press enter key, it will say negative. If you run the program again, if you say 0 and press enter key, it will say 0. Let me take one more example code. Write a program to find the biggest of given 3 numbers. So we want to find the biggest of given 3 numbers. If you consider n1, n2 and n3 as 3 numbers, when can we say n1 as big as? Like if the value of n1 is greater than n2, as well as if the value of n1 is greater than n3, then we say n1 is big. When can we say n2 as big is? If the value of n2 is greater than n1, and if the value of n2 is greater than n3, then we say n2 is big. If n1 and n2 are not big, directly we can say n3 is big. Let us do this complete code. Open Eclipse, create a new class, right click on project and say new class. Let me take the class name as big3 with main method. Say finish. Import scanner class to read the input from keyboard. Then in the main method, create object of scanner class. So connect to the keyboard system.in. Then give the message to the user. We can use sysout and say control space, and this is a shortcut for system.out.println. Give the message, enter 3 numbers. Then we'll say int n1 equal to s dot next int, int n2 equal to s dot next int, int n3 equal to s dot next int. After accepting 3 numbers, start comparing. If the value of n1 is greater than n2 and logical AND, if the value of n1 is greater than n3, the use of double AND, logical AND is used to join the conditions, and when we go for AND, if both the conditions are true only, the enter condition will be true. Then if n1 is greater than n2 and also n1 is greater than n3, then we can say big is n1, the value of n1. Else, the meaning of else indicates that n1 is not big. If n1 is big, it would have printed here only. So the meaning of else here indicates that the n1 is not big. If n1 is big, it would have printed here only. So else indicates that n1 is not big. Then we are left out only with 2 numbers. Then we can compare. If the value of n2 greater than n3, if n2 greater than n3, that's enough. You need not compare with n1. If you compare with n1, then it's not wrong, but not required. Then we can say sysout control space big equal to the value of n2. Else indicates n2 is also not big. n1 is not big and n2 are also not big. Then we can directly say sysout control space big equal to the value of n3. That's it. Save it. Run the program. It will ask for 3 numbers. We are saying 12, 18 and 16. Whichever the order you give, it will pull out the biggest and displays for us. So these are some of the examples in this video. As informed, let me give the assignment related to this control statement if else. So I got a very good response from the last video, the assignments. Many people have submitted the assignments and most of the people have submitted the correct assignments, and even some of the people have submitted wrong, but have given proper suggestions how to write the program. So I request all the people to submit the assignments so that I can check it and give very good feedback so that you can improve your programming skills. Let me give the assignment related to if else. Write a program to check whether the given age is major or minor. So we can say the major age as major as if the age is greater than or equal to 18, we say major, else minor. Let me give one more. Write a program to check whether the given year is leap year or not. So we are having so many conditions to check for leap year. You can go with only one condition, like if the year is divisible by 4, then you can say leap year, else not leap year. If you want to go with other conditions, it's up to you. Let me take one more. Write a program to find the biggest of 3 numbers using conditional operator. Conditional operator, ternary operator, that is question mark. One more, if you are doing the last one, means you are good with your programming. Write a program to accept item number, item name, rate and quantity. Rate and quantity. Find price. Find price. The formula for price is rate into quantity will give the price. Now, calculate discount as follows. We need to calculate the discount based on the price. If the value of price is greater than or equal to 1000, and if it is less than or equal to less than 2000, then we say the discount is 10% on price. That means how will you write in the program syntactically is, let me write it for you. If the price is greater than or equal to 1000, and you have to use logical and to join the conditions, price less than 2000, then we say discount is 10%, means 10 by 100 means 0.10. 10 by 100 means 0.10 into price. This is the way we should write in the program. If the value of price is greater than or equal to 2000 and less than 3000, then we can say discount is 20% on price. Then, if the price is greater than or equal to 3000 and less than 5000, discount is 25% on price. Then, if the price is greater than or equal to 5000, after 5000, whatever the price value it may be, the discount is 30% on price. The maximum discount given is 30%. Then we should calculate the net price. How to calculate net price is price minus discount will give the net price. Then display item number, item name, price, discount and net price. So this is the program you need to do, and send all these programs, send the assignment to info@rajtechnologies.in. So I can check all your assignments and give a very good feedback of your assignment. So that's about in this video. In the next video, we are going to see the next control statement, switch statement. Thank you all. Please subscribe, comment and like the videos. Thank you all.